the nope. No, 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 no.
Wow.
All right.
Yeah, shoes. Eventually, I guess you could.
Yeah, maybe some of them.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Shoes.
We're waking
That's
up.
pretty.
Look at that beautiful
Right.
sunrise. Enjoy it now.
Right.
Yes.
It's one of those things where you really shouldn't be rooting for sunshine. I mean, we knew we were going to warm up today.
Right.
That's the ingredient that's going to be there. Is it's going to be warm enough for that part of the whole severe weather equation to come together. Well, let's take a look at some of the other ingredients on this forewarned weather alert day. Now, the forewarned weather alert, it doesn't mean there are any watches or warnings in effect right now. There aren't, but it means that the atmosphere could be set up to produce severe weather later on today. Wind energy, we know we're going to have that. A lot of wind shear. That means the wind changes direction and speed as you go up in the atmosphere. That means storms are going to be able to spin if they develop, but you need a trigger to start the storms. That's present, but exactly when are the storms going to fire up? Exactly where? There's still a chance that that best trigger moves through the mid-state before those storms get going, and we'll be able to dodge this one in that regard. So check mark, but kind of a faded question or check mark on that one. Warmth, that's one part of storm fuel. We're going to have that. We're going to be in the upper 70s. Humidity, the other part of storm fuel. Dew points at least over 60 degrees. The farther into the 60s those dew points get, the more unstable the atmosphere becomes, but still a big question mark there because current dew points are around 50. Those numbers have to go up a lot in time for the storms to actually develop and intensify. Futurecast anticipates that happening. A big surge of moisture pushes dew points up into the low 60s, but then kind of stalls it out and even dries us out a little bit. Winds are going to be very strong out of the south. That could grab some drier air from farther up in the atmosphere and kind of mix it down towards the ground and reduce those dew points to the level. If we're in the upper 50s, that's a lot better than even being around 60. It's going to be real borderline as we head through the afternoon. The lower those numbers are, the lower our tornado threat in particular will go. So we'll be watching for all threats as we head through the afternoon, but I want to emphasize that it's not etched in stone that we are going to have severe weather this afternoon. It's a possibility. Be prepared for the possibility, but also kind of hope that we'll be able to dodge this. A lot of thunderstorms down to our south this morning. The hope is that these will kind of cut off the flow of moisture up into the mid-state, but I don't think they're ideally positioned, especially as they move farther to the east and northeast, to prevent that humidity from moving up into the mid-state. The heart of the storm system is still out to our west, so as that moves in, if there's enough humidity, then the atmosphere will be ready to go to potentially trigger those thunderstorms. So let's check out Futurecast and we'll zoom in as we head through the day. That rain this morning down in Alabama and Georgia stays for the most part in Alabama and Georgia. Maybe a couple showers in southeastern Middle Tennessee. We're still in wait and see mode in all likelihood by early afternoon. This particular forecast model pops up some storms between the Tennessee River and I-65 by mid-afternoon. Doesn't look impressive on the radar simulation. I've been saying all morning, think of these as tiny but mighty. These supercell storms aren't big. The biggest thunderstorm would probably be maybe 10 miles by 10 miles, and that's small compared to the tens of thousands of square miles that are across the mid-state in southern Kentucky. But those powerful storms would pack a wallop if they're able to tap into that warmth and humidity. They continue moving to the east. Again, the radar simulation doesn't look impressive, but just think of the storms as being tiny but mighty. The whole severe weather threat should be off the Cumberland Plateau entirely by around sunset this evening, which is just after 7 o'clock. There's still more rain in the forecast. That's going to continue late tonight and into early tomorrow, but the severe weather threat is going to be a daytime thing. Moderate risk has been outlined by the Storm Prediction Center. I really think the greatest threat, the guarantee for severe weather, if you want to think of it that way, would be off to our southeast in Alabama and Georgia. It's more of a borderline thing, but this indicates that the worst case scenario could be very intense. The best chance of that is going to be east of I-65. It leaves Metro Nashville on the dividing line. Forecast confidence, though, is going to remain medium because there's so many question marks about how all this is going to shape up. Just plan on staying weather aware throughout the day. No weather problems this morning as you're heading out the door. Temperatures are in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. We're at 59 in Nashville, 63 Columbia. But our temperatures are going to warm up. The warmer we get, the more humid we get, the more unstable the atmosphere becomes. That's why the forewarned weather alert is in effect for today. But look at that. It's not a 100% chance of rain, so fingers crossed that this one fizzles out as well. Tomorrow, cooler, showery. The chilly weather sticks around in the mornings, Friday and Saturday, but then a nice warm up over the weekend. Upper 60s Saturday, upper 70s on Sunday. Quick check of the Stormbird map this morning. Lincoln County is releasing students at noon today. Grundy County at 1 p.m. well in advance of that severe weather threat moving into the eastern half of the mid-state. Melanie?
All right, thanks, Paul. 6:50 right now. Checking our forewarned traffic. We do